Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America and all the ships at sea. I don't know about you, but this puppet is frankly sick of the rampant politically correct woke culture at work in Western nations. In fact, let me go so far as to tell you that it is going to get all of us killed if we do not do away with it entirely. Yes, I said that it will get us all killed, each and every one of us. Well, puppet, that is very bold and overly broad sweeping of a statement, is it not? I stand by my claim. Allow me to expound. I seem to have seen a general overall insanity overtake many people in Western nations over the past decade, if not a little more. It has been as wide-ranging as claiming that Muslims are peaceful, to pushing for the overall cultural acceptance of deranged cross-dressing men using women's restrooms, to allowing homosexual deviants to get married and heinously adopt innocent, unaware children as their victims. I have heard the term mass delusion used years ago, but never could envision how it could take root in a society, culture, or nation. I mean, would that not require basically every individual to simultaneously buy into some massive groupthink? And what are the real chances of that? Well, I am keenly aware that not everyone watching will agree with the points I am about to make. I make no apologies. This puppet is thoroughly convinced that these are truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And so, here we go, on with the show. All we have heard about at times of U.S. presidential elections over the past 40 plus years are DEI questions. You know, things like, we need a black president, or, why have we not had a woman president yet? To that, this puppet asks, when did it become supposedly honorable or best preferred that we have a woman, black person, person of Indian heritage, etc., as leader of the United States of America? And have we really thought about the potential ramifications before we all just jump on the politically correct bandwagon and voted the next female or Muslim candidate in mass? Remember, your mother asking you that now infamous question, if your friend jumped off a bridge, would you also do the same? Well, kids and cousins, I believe it applies here too. Let us only look at the painful, torturous 4 years we just endured, something we now call the Biden crime spree. What did we see during that horrible time span? Well, besides the importing of millions of illegal trespassers into the United States and selling access to our deepest secrets to the Communist Chinese government, we saw Vladimir Putin roll tanks and his military into neighboring Ukraine and completely thumb his nose at NATO and the United States. We then saw the Iranian Ayatollah disrespect the United States entirely and continue to ramp up his nuclear armament capabilities. We also saw North Korean insane dictator run nuclear missile tests. Do you know which of those would have happened if the United States had a strong, politically stern leader in place, instead of a weakened octogenarian suffering from acute dementia? Well, most likely, none. Now, allow me to extrapolate a bit further into the line of reasoning I am on here, folks. Whether you like it or not, there are many evil, narcissistic men in control of billions of people in this world at this very moment. These are far too often bullies. The only thing they understand is force. No amount of talking to, compromise, or diplomacy works with these evil, narcissistic bullies. Do you remember the schoolyard bully in grade school? So how did it work out talking to that person or trying diplomacy? So hypothetically, put a woman president in the place of Felon Joe for the years 2021 through 2025. Do you, for even one single moment, believe that paternalistic, narcissistic male bullies in foreign lands are going to respect her for a single moment? Let's not kid ourselves here, folks. You can always say, look, Great Britain had Margaret Thatcher and the world respected her. Did they? How powerful was Great Britain on the overall world stage during her tenure in the 1980s? Suffice it to say that they were already a fallen power by that time, having already been overtaken by the United States of America at that time. Okay, so Germany only recently had Angela Merkel, right? Don't make me laugh, kids and cousins. Germany under Merkel took a downward turn on the world stage, and they never were a world power to begin with. Now, whether you like it or not, the United States of America has been the leader of the modern world since the end of World War II and basically keeps the bullies in check. Do you think that a crazed megalomaniac like Kim Jong-il might be tempted to try Kamala Harris or Nikki Haley if they were to have been somehow elected into the U.S. presidency in 2024? Would Vladimir Putin be any bit in the slightest intimidated in his power grab into Ukraine if those same women had been elected? Would Adolf Hitler or Attila the Hun have stood down at the direction of a female president or queen? Think again. Allow me to rephrase this, folks. Male bully narcissists in enemy states understand directives fueled by testosterone and sternness that only a masculine leader can deliver. Now let's cut with the politically correct wokeness before it truly gets all of us killed. And folks, while on the topic, let us delve for a minute into the e pluribus unum globalist madness of late that demands that murderous Muslims be emigrated into any and all first world Western nations. Most making these foolhardy demands have not a clue about the Quran or Hadiths and exactly the words found in those demonic books. I will restate a point that I have made in videos I've done prior. Islam is not a religion at all, but rather an ideology of war and conquering. Nothing more, nothing less. The 7th century pedophile who invented it borrowed heavily from the Jewish Torah and Christian Bible and could not hide his love and penchant for brutality, lying, and conquering that was prominent order of Arabian culture at the time. And oh, by the way, in case some might not have noticed, continues in the Middle Eastern lands to this very day. Anyone who has paid attention over the past year or so might have noticed on world news the account of horrific crimes and pillaging by Muslims in France, Sweden, and the United Kingdom. Those are nations that drank the woke politically correct Kool-Aid by the truckload, and oh, are they now paying a horrific price for their stupidity. Here in America, kids and cousins, there still may be time to stop the insurgency of warring Arabs, but we need to get a collective sense of the urgency and seriousness of the threat now, not later. There are already too many mosques in California, Texas, Michigan, and New York for the comfort of anyone with a brain. In fact, I did a video a while back on the Muslim mayor of Dearborn, Michigan, naming a street after a fellow Muslim who backed jihadi causes in the Middle East, and then told a Christian pastor who protested against the ill-fated decision at a town hall meeting that he would celebrate when he moved away. If you think that is not just an isolated incident and no big deal, only look at the recent goings-on with Somalis in Minneapolis. There are videos online of some Somali telling another resident that Islam will conquer America and that we will all bow to their demon god Allah. If you think that is a minor threat, okay, you are free to believe that if you want, but it would be ill-advised. Again, friends and colleagues, politically correct wokeness is going to get us all killed. I do not by any means want to see it come to pass, but let us call a spade a spade. Those in the West must wise up now and expel all the terrorist threats from their lands as soon as possible. I do not care if it involves going house to house and putting them on government-funded flights back to the desert wastelands that their ancestors created. It has to happen, or our grandchildren's futures are not going to be bright in the slightest. I know, this is not woke or politically correct at all, and so be it. Good night, my loyal viewers, and sleep well.